It's Visual Journal Friday. If you'd like to know more about visual journaling, what it is, how it's different than keeping a regular sketchbook, how I use it with my students, how I think it could be helpful for you as an artist to grow, then check out my more in-depth description in episode 1 of the Visual Journal Friday series. Also, you can check out my blog post where I go into a lot of detail about it. I will have that link in the description below. All right, happy Visual Journal Friday. This is Visual Journal number 9. This is another year where I tried a pairing of sorts. Last Visual Journal you saw, I did a Visual Journal and then I also had a tiny tradable. And the Visual Journal that was my personal journal sort of lacked in focus because I was focusing on this tiny tradable that I was passing back and forth. This year, the next year, which was 2016, I decided that I was going to try bullet journaling because my friend Liz that I did the tiny tradable with was getting into the idea. And so I wanted to try to organize my life a little better. So this is my bullet journal that I did this year, 2016. And I decided to get a sketchbook that matched it so that they would neatly go into my art bag. And I could carry them around with some art materials and work on both of them. So this is my bullet journal, and it's not as artistically developed as some people's because I was keeping a sketchbook, so I wasn't really focusing on making the pages super pretty, although I did try to color code some things. If you're not familiar with bullet journaling, you might want to look into it because it's pretty cool. It didn't work for me per se because again, it drew focus away from my visual journal, and I don't like anything that draws focus away from my visual journal. But I'm just flipping through these pages a little bit so you can see that I did fully realize this book, and there's all kinds of important info in here, and you'll see I have tabs over here on the side for the month. This is September, and then here we are in October, and then there's November. And so I kept up with it and it was helpful, but again, in the end, I feel this whole section is all about jujitsu. So for each position, these are the transitions for that position, the submissions for that position, the escapes and sweeps, and the control. Close guard, side mount, turtle, knee mount, full mount, rear mount. And there's some more notes about the ranking, the hierarchy of the positions. I was pretty into jiu-jitsu for a couple of years. I have sort of backed away from it and gone back to yoga. So anyways, that's my bullet journal. It gets empty at the back. But we're here to look at the visual journal. And here it is. So let's check it out. So this is book number 9. And I tried to art in it more versus, again, to-do lists and random thoughts and everything. So this is more just drawing. So there's this, which is a pen drawing that I watercolored. Some collage, some ink transfer of some sort of zodiac map. I drew that mandala. This is a drawing of a local tattoo artist that I was going to try to woo into doing a tattoo for me. She's award-winning and awesome, but she's booked through years. Blind contour drawing of my husband's computer and a teddy bear sitting at a desk at a coffee shop with our kid, and then I watercolored over it. Some color swatches. Started this in the summer, so summertime and the living is easy. We were hanging out at the coffee shop a lot this summer. These are some mind map notes about jiu-jitsu. I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu at the time, and so was my son. So I was just taking notes about the different positions and the different control holds and attacks from those positions. Blind contour of my daughter's face. And this is a packaging tape transfer that says, "Eye luminosity, the new visible sign of youth." And she's youthful. And this is another picture of her. She was reading at a table, and I drew her picture. I tried to draw Patti Smith from a photograph, and it ended up looking like me. So I wrote channeling Patti Smith after Move Up. This has been my profile picture on Instagram for a while now. You might recognize it if you follow me on Instagram. If you don't, look me up, Hoelscher Art, at Hoelscher Art on Instagram. Nobody is too busy to respond to you, number 1. Number 2, everyone has their own best interests at heart. Number 3, you are never going to please everyone. Number 4, your actions define you, not your thoughts. Number 5, the world owes you absolutely nothing. And number 6, nobody's coming to save you from your life. That's sort of negative. I wonder why I wrote all that. Reality, I guess. Just feeling some reality. Hue, chroma, value, color, temperature, mood, atmospheric, perspective, schema. Aw. Where, there, glare, bear, share, hair, fair, tear, care, dare, blare, where, air, lair, rare. This looks like a version of the same little activity I do every year when I first start a visual journal, where there's 5 shapes and you respond to them in priority, and it gives you perspective on what's going on at your life. And that's me and my husband. This is again a chemical transfer from a Xerox, and that's a leaf. I just drew this from the internet, a cool picture I saw. And this says beauty. What is beauty? Confidence, intelligence, positivity, love and caring, sunshine through trees, wind through trees, bubbling brooks, dark water, bubbles, waves. This what is beauty is part of this activity. They're supposed to, I prompt my students to respond by listing 3 things they find beautiful. So this was my response to what I find beautiful. There's a pencil value scale and a watercolor value scale and some doodles and drawings I did with my daughter. She drew stuff and I drew, looks like I drew one of her figurines. Okay, this is a blind contour of 11, the character from Stranger Things. So this is when Stranger Things came out. And then superimposed on top of it is a tracing of a figure with no head, like a Keith Haring figure that I have then shaded in a positive, negative sort of thing. I was messing around with layering a lot in this book, it looks like. Watercolors, Nayeli's doodles. What year was this? This was 2016, so she was 4. Not in school yet. So I guess we were hanging out at the coffee shop because brother had gone back to school and she was not in school yet. And this is some of her doodles, and she was learning to write, so she's written. I wrote things and then she was trying to copy and write things, and she told me to draw her, and then she held the pens up like that for some reason. That's how she wanted me to draw her. And we were playing a card game, phase 10, so that's our scorekeeping. And then apparently I was going to do Inktober, and I listed all the prompts, and then I only did 2.5, and that's how I am. Drawing from internet maybe, or from, that looks more like it's just out of my imagination. And this is some notes on a job that a friend wanted me to do for his theater troupe. He wanted me to help him design the poster. Drawing of our school, drawing of the doggy. That is definitely a drawing from the internet. I don't know that person, but they're lovely. Beauty, glitter, glimmer, shine, reflection, texture, warmth, light, growth. Does the process have a story? How was it made? Deconstruction can also equal beauty. What is your favorite time of day? Color. Black and other neutrals are colors too. Also monochromatic is classic. It works, it's fine, it's natural. Clarity. Create intricacy with simple patterns and rules by analyzing an existing system. Assignment. Dots, cell growth, organic, color, pattern, color. I don't know what that is about. I think I was brainstorming a lesson for school, but I don't know. Oh, this is when I went and arted with some friends. I have some friends, they're twins, Liz and Meg. This is Meg. She is the twin sister of Liz, who shared the tiny tradable that I did last week, 2 weeks ago. This is her sister, and we and Liz also hung out by a creek one afternoon and drew and doodled. So she's drawing and I was drawing her while she drew. This is Liam's drawings. Pat, this is how you spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's a very long word. Pops' wand. I think it might be the year that we went to Disney also. That's a symmetrical drawing of a wolf. Oh, I really like this idea of anaglyphs. You might remember like 3D glasses from when you were in school. I want to do an artwork with that sometime. So this was me messing around with that. And different pens. Liam's drawings, maybe, yes. Oh, and then there's a drawing of clouds. Well, watercolor painting of clouds. Normal when they first start writing. Color swatches, mixing watercolor. This is not watercolor paper. That it was some frustration, I guess. This is out of, Nayeli really liked a series of books with Biscuit the dog, and that's the little girl from that series of books. And this is that tattoo artist that I wanted to get, but I couldn't book her, so I ended up going to this shop and getting the tattoo that's on this arm, but she didn't end up doing it, and none of these other people did it either. It was a new guy, Billy Majewski, that I think ended up moving on and isn't there anymore. How do you like that? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We did Mary Poppins as a senior play one year, so that might be why that word keeps showing up. My kids ended up doodling in this just as much as I did because I always had it with me, and they'd be like, "Mommy, I'm bored," and so I'd shove this in their face, and then they would make art and not be bored. Wow, so funny, not me. I don't want him, shrugs, hums, accidentally knocks over markers. This is Liam is writing down something. Accidentally knocks over markers and picks them up, sits down, gasps. Oh no, never use this pink marker. Continues drawing, sigh. Blue and yellow make green, and are you writing what I say? Make a bad guy. You can make Voldemort. That's obviously Nayeli talking, and he's writing down what she said. And some more drawings by the kids. This has ended up being mostly drawings by kids. Liam draws our cats, Monkey, Chewy, by Liam Hoelscher. So yeah, this is getting towards the end. Reflection, I don't think it was a good idea, one, to have this be the way to entertain my kids when we were out and they were bored. And also to separate my focus between two books, this and the bullet journal. It made this one, again, feel quite thin and neglected. And I did do a lot in my bullet journal. So thanks for watching. This was number 9. We'll do number 10 in a couple of weeks. See ya, bye. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Click the bell icon in order to get more notifications. And don't forget to check out my paintings and my merch like this shirt on hoelscherart.com. Bye.